Welcome to the TheDNazChannel. I'm here today in Norwich, Connecticut at the Tantaquidgeon Museum. All right, this is for the Mohegan Tribe, and I'm going to show you a little bit around the museum. So here we go. I'm going to show you some old Native American artifacts. You guys got a group behind me. I'm going to see some old arrowheads and spears over here. This is a little bit about the history. I know this woman is an old anthropologist, right, that went back and she had a lot of letters from the last known native speaker over here of their language. And this is actually a depiction of Uncas, an old famous tribal leader. This case over here is very interesting. This is actually all items personal to Uncas himself. This is items personal to the chief himself. As you can see, this is made out of wampum here, which is a shell from the Long Island coast. And these items were sacred to them. It wasn't just used as currency as it is believed. Let's see. You can see Uncas's personal pipe here. That's amazing. Keep walking you around to another room. You see some clothing styles. This is from 1899, it says. That's when she was born. So this is from the 1800s, this clothing. It is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. We got some figurines under here, some art. Now I'm going to show you a wampum. I'm sorry, not wampum, a wigwam. And it's actually their hut. They have one outside that they built. It was recently built in 2012. But that is where the people lived in. All right, you are back at the Tantaquidgeon Museum over in Norwich, Connecticut. I'm sorry about the lighting over here. I'm just bringing you around the museum, showing you a couple of the artifacts, showing you all the history that is here. There's a bunch of beautiful history. Look, these are all a bunch of more artwork that they've been using. Now, the Mohegan Tribe is huge. I mean, it's been around. This is at the start of the history in America here. They've been around at the start of history, and they've actually been in every war since the Revolutionary War they have participated in. Mohegan Tribe is a huge part of the beginning of all the treaties and all the history that ran wild through America afterwards. It started over here in New England, right in Connecticut. Look at these. These are some stone axes that they used. Sorry, I wish the lighting was better in here, but that's what it is. This is what we got. As you can see, more memorial service people. Traditional warrior outfit. Look at that. Absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. And these are ball clubs. Wow. These are the types of ball clubs you would find in New England, used for hunting, for war, food preparation. And then this one up top, this is a war club, actually. It says right here, war club carved by the Mohegan chief Matagha. Wow. This is carved by a Mohegan chief himself. That is absolutely beautiful. These artifacts are amazing. This is a Mohegan church nearby. It's, let's see, the church was built in 1831 after the federal Indian removal policy, which requires tribes to be Christianized or face relocation. How insane is that, huh? This is the type of things we did in America, you know? This is why we need more knowledge out there, because we're a beautiful country and we need to find our real history so we can correct things and become better, right? Look at this. Look at these quilts. This is absolutely beautiful and amazing. Absolutely amazing. I mean, their artwork is gorgeous. Again, I wish I had better lighting in there, but I'm glad you guys get to see some of these artifacts. Look, a turtle shell cup, another necklace made of wampum, right? As you can see, there's a difference between trade wampum and wampum, you know, artifacts or jewelry. The way they're made is a lot different. It had a very symbolic meaning. It had way more meaning than just being trade or money. Okay, so here you go outside. You got a nice little bench you can hang out. There's other families here right now. They're bringing their kids here. It's a nice place for the kids. So here's one thing I wanted to show you, because I talked about this on one of my episodes. I talked about how they would cut down trees. They would burn out the tree in the center and carve it out with an axe, and that would actually make their canoe. And they would make really big canoes. Someone reported seeing up to 30 men inside of a canoe at one point. All right, so I'm walking you guys up to the wigwam now. This is what the Native Americans would live in New England. This is a New England style wigwam. It's made from the outside of the tree, like the bark. You can see the bark is coming around. It's being used as the shelter. And you can see how sticks, like smaller trees, are bent. They're bent around and they're tied together. It's a very simple structure, right? And you can see the bark is coming down, and it's just, you know, just like shingles in our house, right? They invented shingles before we ever knew what they were, you know? It was just made out of the side of trees. They also had longhouses too, which they said were the size of a football field, some of these longhouses. So imagine making one of these the size of a football field. Some beautiful history here. All right. So here you have a wigwam, a Native American house. I want to show you inside, but the lighting in there is terrible. But as you can see, they have a fire pit and, you know, a couple benches going around, sand on the floor. So it looks like it'd be comfortable. It looks like it'd be cozy as heck. There's a little chute at the top, and that's for the smoke for the fire. So here you have it, folks. So this is the Mohegan Museum. This is in Norwich, Connecticut, and you have been watching the DNaz channel. We will see you next time.